Hi, everyone. I'm
Hey,
Sandra Watson. Up there was Sean in the background. Okay, Sean, I'm going to let you say it. You're on camera.
I'm not going to say anything now, Sandra. having just interrupted. Hi, everybody. Great to see everybody. I've not been on a hangout for ages, so I've been pining to connect. So, hello, everybody. Hi, Sandra. Good to see you.
It's good to see you too, Sean. And
Thank you.
I'm having to take the camera back and forth a little bit here, so we're going to have to learn to not overtalk ourselves sometimes, so that on the
I can't do that.
Poor Sean.
I'm going to do that. I have to sit in my hands, Sandra.
Anyway, we're on our new show, 20 and
Yeah.
Gone, and we have given a lot of implications to everyone out there that it could mean a lot. Well, let me just tell you what it's going to mean before we get into anything else. We're going to be doing this for 20 minutes. It's going to be short, sweet, and sassy in 20 minutes. And after 20 minutes, I'm going to hit the stop broadcast button, and we're out of here. Now, I've already given Sean some really sweaty palms over this because he's concerned that we're going to be in the middle of a conversation and not be able to finish it, and he's right. We are, because we're going to be committed, and this is going to train both of us to be a little bit more conscious of time, I guess. So, anyway, that being said, we're here. We're going to be gone in 20 minutes, so at 1:20, we're out of here. One of the things that you're probably wondering is, what is this going to be about? That's going to be a tough one.
So are we.
Because we have decided that we wanted to do something, well, pretty much totally different for us. Maybe not totally different for a lot of other people, but totally different for us. We wanted the ability to discuss things that were about maybe social media, Google+, current things that we're talking about that we see on our stream or that people write about or whatever, but maybe other things too. So, Sean, I'm going to pass this over to you right now, and maybe you can elaborate a little bit on it in your view, and then we're going to go into what our topic is for today. P.S. Poor Sean didn't even know until minutes before what we were going to talk about. So, again, his hands are sweating. So, Sean, take it away.
Thank you, Sandra, for that big run in there. But in all seriousness, what Sandra and I have tried to do is we've both got our individual shows that we've been running for ages that are an hour long. And the reality is that we know that most shows that we watch or most videos that we watch are about 20 minutes. And we also know that a blend of current affairs, hot topics and things like that is really, really entertaining. So we wanted to do something different, a little bit experimental, and also get feedback from you guys as an audience. And I guess the big vision is this becomes a little bit like a virtual magazine on a hangout. Now that may sound vague, and that's deliberately so, but the idea would be that we comment and we develop threads that are really, really topical and really, really useful. And it's as I start getting sweaty palmed, I'm delighted to actually read. Thank goodness, phew, William, what a star! That William actually says that sounds like fun, which is a great relief, because if everybody had said that sounds terribly bad, Sandra and I would be rocking and sweating. Rocking, I took that from you, William. I hope you don't mind. So, Sandra, topic of the day. We've only got 20 minutes, and I've taken about 10 of them already.
This is the fun part, isn't it? I mean, one of the things that's really interesting that we've talked about, everyone, and by the way, we are going to address, boy, we're really glad all of you have shown up live that
Definitely.
are here.
Thank you.
And on our broadcast that is recorded, we're going to thank everyone who comes and watches us then. But Cheryl, how cool of you to show up. Cheryl Deuce, it's neat. We're really pleased to see you here. Carmen Mandic. Oh my gosh, I know you can't stay. You've already told us that, but we're really glad that you came in. And I'm going to let Sean mention some of the other names when he has a camera in a minute. The one thing is that we really want to try and keep our conversation to a small limit and bring in, what you guys are saying a little bit to the conversation at hand, what we're going to be talking about. Today, we're going to talk about dreams and dreaming and vision, because this show came out of the idea of a dream, of a vision. How could we do it differently? I'm dreaming of this. I would think many times on shows that I watch and that I have been involved in and everything. Boy, I wish I had the flexibility to do some of this, and Sean and I talked about it. So we're both going to share with you our dream and vision, a little bit of the show, and then what dreaming and having visions really mean to us. What does that topic mean? How do we how do we dissect it? So I'm going to let Sean, since I've introduced the subject and the topic, I'm going to let you start on your dream, your vision for the show, and then I'll share some of mine in there.
Thanks, Sandra. I kind of touched on it already, but just a quick recap. For me, I drive a lot, and although the UK is a much smaller country, clearly, than yours, I drive about 1,000 miles a week. And the shows that really entertain me most on the radio are like I said earlier, they're short, they're punchy, they've got some good information, and they're entertaining. And my vision is that we do all of those things. So this is the first show. It's a bit like a pilot, isn't it, on CBS or NBC, and you're still trying to work out which direction it's going to go. But in future, what we'll do is we'll take one topic and we'll just go for it. We'll look at comments in the stream, and we'll be really, really punchy. And if we get to 19 minutes, 58 seconds, and we could talk for another hour, we won't. We'll just cut it off and make it really, really sweet and really, really quick. So as I said earlier, it could be about anything. And this show is turning out to be one of those about anything. But let's keep it on the dream state. So my dream and vision I've talked about, and this show came out of a dream, as you rightly said. What's your dream and vision, Sandra?
I love this part. You know, I'm a firm believer that what we think about comes about. And I look at dreaming as being an intense passion, something that I want so passionately that I can't stop until I have it. One of the things about this show, Sean, this may really quirk you because you haven't heard me say this to you before, but when I first met you, one of the things that you said is that you wanted to be an entertainer, you wanted to be in humor, you wanted to be where it could be fun and everything. I dream that this show will bring out that side of you, will have more of the quirky side, the sassy side, the fun side of Sean. And some of the expressions that I see when we have conversations that other people don't. Now, I grant you some of the topics may not lend to that all the time, but I would like for us to be able to see that side. I think people will enjoy the Sean side, the quirky side, the fun side. So that's one of my dreams for this show.
Okay, I'm up for that, Sandra. Totally up for that. In fact, well, I won't do it, but Kerry, well, I will do it. Do you mind?
No.
Okay, Kerry. I've got to put this up. Our great friend Kerry from my side of the pond. Hey, Kerry. We had a little bit of an exchange about vision as well, and who came up with the word twizzle here? Was it you first, Sandra? Okay, and this is a bit quirky, forgive me, and I can't sing, but this is very much like a Beatles song, isn't it, from our side of the pond. So twizzle and shout. I love that, Kerry. Come on, come on, come on. I'm not going to do it, actually. I did it really well in rehearsal, and I've totally blown it. My singing voice is gone. But Kerry, twizzle and shout. We're both going to be on the virtual dance floor in a minute. Totally, totally. Sean Mahon's a driving machine. I'm just going to put that on. Sean Mahon's a driving machine. Where are you going? Can't you just visualize Sean driving with the steering wheel on the right? Kind of like Austin Powers. Indeed, Tanya, indeed. That's me. And the teeth as well, Tanya. It's got to be said. British wooden teeth. All good. That's
great. I mean, she's coming into the side of the visualization, because I think that when you dream, part of that is the visualization. You know, one of the things about dreaming that I think people maybe we get off on the wrong foot on, because I know for me I did. It was that, well, I think about things, so therefore I use the word, instead of think, I use dream. I dream about this. Do I really dream about it? Am I really passionate about it? And so I'm going to carry our conversation back away from what we're dreaming about the show to how we look at dreaming and visualization and the thought process. I think that too many times for myself it was always hard to figure out what a dream really was. I remember when I first started working with vision boards, it was like, wait a minute, I don't have any dreams, I don't think. And then as I got to thinking about it, it was very hard for me because I had learned to put my passions and my desires at the low part of the totem pole on my priorities. How about you, Sean? I mean, do you have a hard time defining what a dream is in your life, or do you even dream?
Well, yeah, I do, but I do dream, and I also want to put up Dave's comment here. I used to meditate a lot. I'll keep the comment on, though, if everyone wants to have a look at that, where Dave says, if you write your dreams down, they become goals with deadlines. Some years ago, if I'd have read that sentence, I would have thought, well, that's lovely, but I'm not sure I believe that. But Dave's on Successfully Social, by the way, on Thursday at the same kickoff time. So if anyone gets a chance to watch that, that'd be really cool. But I totally agree with Dave, and I agree with what you're saying about your vision board, Sandra, that when you really get in touch with your dreams and you're in a situation where, as I did when I was meditating, I could almost process them and see them in 3 dimensions and still be in a semi-conscious state. The most incredible things used to happen to me that I would have previously put down to coincidence. And I learned that a lot of it was about visualization. And I guess a lot of my background is pharmaceuticals, and there's been a lot of research in the drug industry that suggests that as well as all the benefits of medicines, keeping a high level of humor and happiness on a ward of patients has been proven to actually accelerate healing rates, reduce surgical scars. So if you could have 2 identical wards with 2 identical sets of surgery with patients of the same age and the same conditions, in one ward people were treated to humor and funny stuff and were encouraged to dream and visualize that they were getting better, and another ward everybody was just treated in a normal way with medicines and nothing else. The ward that had the more positive, encouraging, nurturing, dreamlike state would always do very much better. Not just in the weeks or the months that they were in, maybe if it was serious surgery, they were recuperating, but 20 years later you could track that. So from that, my belief is dreams are really good, and you can worry yourself into having ulcers, and you can worry yourself into having cardiac problems. Why is the reverse not true? If you have a positive mindset, why can you not accelerate and enhance your health? What do you think about that, Sandra?
Well, I'm going to pull up what Dave Moore said, because I totally agree with everything you've said. And the one thing that Dave says here is sometimes people say, I can't see me doing that even in my wildest dreams. If you can't see yourself doing something in your wildest dreams, there's little chance of doing it in reality. The thing is, if you haven't got dreams, all you have are
nightmares.
And is it nightmares. I think that is really a very good way of describing what we're talking about. So if we didn't have a dream for this show, so to speak, we wouldn't even know what we were looking for. We could end up with a nightmare. Well, that's happened before for sure, and that's one of the things that we didn't want. We had a goal, we had a vision, we had a dream, and now it's become a reality. And I think that's the one thing that dreaming for me has turned into in my lifetime, is that I've realized that many years ago that if I didn't grab onto those dreams and start watering them and promoting them in my mind, I was never going to see them. And if they were not a passion, if they were not just living with me all the time, my chances of seeing them become a reality were pretty much zero. How about you? Have you seen some come true?
Well, I want to explore that, actually. I think you've made some really good points. So I'd like to ask you a question about what you've just said, Sandra. So you say, had you not, I'm going to paraphrase, I did remember your exact phrase that's gone out of my head, but you sort of fostered your dreams, you nurtured them, you watered them, and you also realized that should you not do that, they wouldn't come true. Well, a lot of people would agree with that. I think the trick is, though, what we know in our head and what we do in our gut are sometimes two different things. So what were your tips? How did you manage to do that, Sandra?
Boy, I think you brought up a really good point. I believe that it's not so much what's in our head, because I think our head and our brain tries to override what's in our gut. And I believe my gut is my subconscious telling me things. So therefore, many times I have to remember that if my mind and what I'm thinking is not going along with what's in my gut, I need to really quickly reevaluate and recenter, because my gut is my centering of what is going on. It's telling me this is what I have put there, what has been there. I used to wonder, where do dreams come from? Who puts them there? Do I, or is something or someone else doing that for me? And I found out that no, it's me. It's what I deeply want. You read about people that really want something, and then they put it aside and say, well, I don't deserve it, because the mind's overriding it. And so, I mean, you and I could have put this show and said, you know what, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't go along with a lot of other things. It's not the ABCs of Google Plus. Oh my gosh, let's how can we do that? It's not successfully social. It's a different element of us. So therefore, that doesn't make sense. But in our gut, in our inner being, it was like we were missing something, and we really wanted to add to it. It was a dream that we brought to reality.
Yeah, and I think that's a really interesting way of putting it. And like everything, actually, if I look around at the image of you, and I can see the paintings to my left, to your right, and I can see everything in your house, and you can see some of mine, my stark walls, and the clearly and the lack of plant that Tanya's just acknowledged. Everything here was created in somebody's mind, wasn't it? So I'm sitting on something that was created in somebody's mind. It was once a dream. Yeah, it has a function and a purpose. Now that function is one thing, but our dreams have functions too, and we can sabotage ourselves, can't we, with negativity? And again, we all know it, but what are the consequences? What are the consequences of thinking, I can't do that, this is the wrong partner for me, I couldn't do that job, I couldn't do that career, I couldn't pursue this particular occupation? I look in our stream, and we've got coaches and trainers and entrepreneurs in here. And sure, it's not easy for those guys, but had they not had the dream and the courage to step away from convention, what would they be doing now? And although it's not an easy ride, that dream is something that we must applaud and keep nurturing, keep watering, as you've said. A bit of a truism, but I think something really important. How many people are taking medication in my old industry that, if only they had big enough dreams, they wouldn't have to? I'm not poo-pooing medicines. Oh. Is that the 20 minutes? Oh my God!
It's the reminder we're at the 2-minute mark.
2 minutes, guys. Wow.
In 2 minutes, Sean, what is your dream? Very quickly, 1 minute. Do you have a dream that you could share with us?
Yeah, a quick shout out to Tony. Hi, Tony. Thanks for joining us. In the last minute, my dream is that we make this very topical, very punchy, and very valuable, and a lot of fun to people every single week. So that's my big dream for the show.
Wow, I don't even want to top it. My dream is that every week we have fun, and we have people here who are supposed to be here, who have a desire to learn something or just enjoy it. I believe that it's all about the right people always. When we have intention and we have dreams, the right things show up at the right time. And I think that's one of my biggest things. I believe everybody that's here today is supposed to be here, and I believe everybody that watches it later are the people that you and I have dreamt about. They're going to be the people that we resonate with.
Very true. Very true.
And I think that's a good thing.
Totally agree.
Well, okay, we've had a great time. 20 minutes is short, guys. It's going to be tough, and I'll guarantee you, as we keep going, we're going to get better at the 20 minutes. So I'm going to say thank you for coming, and I'm going to let Sean give his last few seconds of adios.
Yeah, adios, everybody. And of course, if you've got ideas and themes you want us to explore, we can't guarantee we'll do them all, but it's your show as well. So feed those in, and adios from me.